let's see if this is actually working. Sorry, I have to do this every time. Okay, looks like it is. I'll be able to check that again soon. So let's just hope it's working. So today, I always play Mario Kart World when I do little talks like this. This is a pretty chill game, but also today because that's where I want to start. Let me see if I can check to make sure that yep, it appears to be working. All right, great. Well then, to start off with the potential future of Nintendo, we should probably start off by covering. I'm gonna go single player. We should start off by covering Mario Kart World. As many of you who are watching probably already know, they had another update recently. In the past like week or so, something like that. It was a pretty major update. It added on new knockout tours, which I can show you right now, are these two right here. So the game was very much lacking of knockout tours. This was all we had, and I literally got put in the same knockout tour 3 times in a row once, and I've only played knockout tour for like online for like, you know, 10 hours tops, so that's pretty terrible. So I'm very happy to see that they were listening to our advice, or that they already had other knockout tours planned. Now, what does this mean? This is actually very crucial because it means that either A, they're listening to our advice, which means we're probably going to get a DLC. That would be very, very good. Or that they already had more stuff planned, which isn't as good, but at least it means some of this stuff we're stuck with could be fixed in the future. We already know the game was rushed to some extent. But the fact that they've released a whole new battle mode and are releasing new knockout tours just enforces that. Like, it's insane what glitches, what terribly boring stuff we've managed to find in this game already. That's just not good coming from the game you're hoping to sell your system with. And so I'm not surprised that they're doing updates, and I really like this. If this was their strategy all along, if we had to play the boring version of the game just to get these updates, it was worth it because the updates are so much fun. And I always love a nice surprise. I prefer to be warned at least a few days ahead of time, which they didn't exactly do. But I do like that we now have a warning that we will be getting more knockout tours in the future. Of course, I was very disappointed after watching the Nintendo Direct with absolutely no DLC for this. I really think that they'll have another Direct like this December or something, and they'll probably throw Mario Kart World DLC into there. And if so, that would be very, very well played. I just still kind of wish they would have announced it in the last one, but maybe it's not going to be until like the end of 2027 or something. And if so, we may not even see an announcement until 2027. Or maybe they're going to really drag this game out like they did with 8 Deluxe, and they won't have a DLC for a long time. But I really doubt it with how badly it's doing, that they would even dare do that, especially with this being one of their big system sellers. Like, can you imagine if they just now gave Mario Odyssey a DLC pack? Like, that would just be terrible. So, since this is like their main system seller, I'm guessing if they're gonna have a DLC, it's gonna be soon. And that's about all I have to say about Mario Kart World for now. I'm thinking about making my own video dedicated to just things I'd like to see from a DLC. If you'd like to see that, just if you can, let me know in the comments or something. I would love to hear some of you guys' opinions too. I've always been intrigued by story modes, and I really think this game could get something out of it. So if you've got any ideas for that too, I would love to hear it. But now on to our next topic. The most frustrating topic out of all these. I'm gonna skip forward a few months here. I'm just gonna skip over Splatoon Raiders. I'll get back to that in a minute. Mario Kart Tour, one of my favorite Mario Kart games. They are completely shutting down all of Mario Kart Tour on September, I think it was either 29th or 30th, depending on your time zone. This means that Mario Kart Tour is just gone. There's going to be absolutely no way to play it at all whatsoever. Oh, wow. This is just sad. I love that game. I know most people hated it, and I understand that. It's fine. I've always got a lot of games that I like that most people don't really care for. It's pretty normal. I've gotten used to it. But completely shutting it down. I mean, it's not like it has the world's smallest fan base. I understand it has been a while, so I shouldn't be complaining this much, but this game I've spent hundreds of hours in, and I'm just so sad to see it go. So what does this mean? Nintendo, I saw Game Explained mentioning this, so check out his video. I'm giving him full credit for this idea. It's not mine. He came up with it completely. PlayStation has been getting a lot of hate right now since they just announced they are going completely digital in 2028, which is still a long ways away. I don't really play PlayStation games, so that didn't affect me. But this means that Nintendo was in pretty high standing, because I think there may have been a couple things Xbox did that weren't exactly the best decisions recently that people weren't too happy with. And so Nintendo was the good game. Or the good company. They're like the good guys right now. And then they shut down Mario Kart Tour. Now, sure, most people don't care, most people won't hear about it, but they are completely shutting down a Mario Kart game. This is, like, unheard of. Because usually we're able to get a physical copy and play it whenever. This is a mobile game we're talking about. I was really hoping for an Animal Crossing Pocket Camp situation, where they just go, yeah, we're getting rid of it. You can pay $20 for a full version that doesn't have online features. Now, I still think $20 is a bit steep, but for Mario Kart Tour, I would have happily paid $20. I would have paid $30. I probably would have paid more than I should. I love that game. And some of my favorite parts were the point system, and that's not coming back. I'm just gonna say it right now. I have absolutely no confidence at all that that point system is ever coming back. You could accumulate points throughout the race by doing things such as mini turboing, hitting opponents with items, hitting items with items, things like that. First place got you lots of points. 8th place didn't get you very many because 8th place was the last place. And I really like that. It was like the Tony Hawk Pro Skater of Mario Kart. And I mean, I've heard a lot of people saying World is like the Tony Hawk of Mario Kart. And that's just because it's got a lot of parkour. That has nothing to do with how Tour literally had a point system, depending on how cool you were acting, or more correctly, how well you were playing. Now, the big flaw with Tour that everyone hated it for, it rhymed, was it was very well known for having one of the worst drifting systems in world history and really weird and boring progression. I thought the progression was actually pretty fun, and I thought the drifting system was just fine. That explains why I like it. Their progression system, I will admit that part did need some work. Let's just say when you literally only use legendary characters and that's the highest rarity, you've got issues. Normal and super rated stuff were almost never used. Like, ever. The game had no version of time trials, which, well, they did, but there'd be like one time trial every 2 weeks. And sometimes there still wouldn't be one, and your records wouldn't be saved. I mean, they would be saved, you just couldn't view them. So, as you can imagine, there weren't many people wanting to play this. Because no time trials, you know. It didn't end up being their... it didn't end up going well. At all. The upgrade system was also very slow and took forever, so you couldn't max out your account or anything. I've played for years. My account's still only like halfway, which is sad because they haven't even been releasing new content. But like, that's how slow the game's progression was. Also, they had some pay-to-win aspects. You know, it's a mobile game. It's gonna happen. I was fine with that. But now the game's just gone. And they had one unique course that hasn't been ported onto a system yet, and a whole bunch of remixed courses that haven't been ported over. So many remixes. Not a single one has been ported. They had reverse versions of probably hundreds of tracks. They had versions with extra scaffolding here and there. All kinds of amazing things. All of it's just gone now. You're going to have to look up a video of it, which is going to be hard to find if you want any hopes of ever seeing it ever again. Piranha Plant Pipeline will most likely come back in a future Mario Kart game. Don't worry about that. That's the only exclusive course, not exclusive remix course. But like, one of my favorites was Coconut Mall on the beach. It was so cool, you could drive on their little beach area that was usually out of bounds. It's gone now, forever. Starting on September 30th or whatever. In fact, it may not even reappear anytime soon. So it's just gone. And that's pretty sad. Yeah, so I know I spent forever talking about that. I'm sorry, most of you guys don't care. That's not why you're watching. Just bear with me, okay? Now Splatoon Raiders, I believe, is their next game coming out. So let's talk about that next. Oh wow, they really did change that. Splatoon Raiders. I was pretty excited for it when they announced it. I'm not as excited as I was, but I think. Oh wow, those cards just get deleted by the bombs now. Just note, with Splatoon Raiders, the gameplay, the little pieces of gameplay that they've shown us, which isn't a ton, has not seemed like the most fun gameplay I've ever seen. Especially not from a Splatoon single-player campaign mode. Like, I've seen them do so much better, and there were a few really good moments, and I'm guessing there's going to be a lot more of those than I'm talking about here, but some of the gameplay just felt really stale. Like, Salmon Run is stale, but this was just excessive. Like, there's Salmon Run stale, and then there's just attacking people for a single-player story mode. Like, just constantly attacking. So yeah, I've been actually playing Splatoon 3, just to get myself ready. Also because they're having a Splatfest. If you haven't heard about that, it's going to be power versus tactics versus speed. Go Team Tactics all the way. That's the team I'm going for. I may do live stream. I will be more careful than I was last time, where we're just gonna say a few words slipped on screen I wasn't too happy about. Splatoon tries to regulate that, but it's very, very difficult when you've got hundreds of comments in just one region to regulate every single comment when it's art and not letters. So I have seen some stuff on there I wasn't too happy about, but that's that. I will make sure that does not happen again. I have a strategy to ensure that that is impossible to happen. Now then, Splatoon Raiders, back to that. Now that we've given the Splatfest a nice little mention. Splatoon Raiders, I think, is going to be pretty great. Their story's probably going to be great. Like I said, the gameplay still does not look insanely appealing compared to past Splatoon story modes and such. Wow, I'm doing terrible at this. I think it won't be as bad as I'm expecting. Just plan on it being better than what I just told you. But I'm just giving this out as like a disclaimer. It may not be as good as I was hoping. So yeah, I don't have much more to say about Splatoon Raiders. It comes out July 27th, I think. If someone could fact check me on that, that'd be great. I may fact check. Sorry. I may fact check myself after the video and throw it in the comments. So if you just want to check there, it'll probably be there. So I don't know if they confirmed it or if we're just kind of guessing, but Rhythm Heaven Groove appears to be the final Switch 1 game that is made by first-party Nintendo. It was a great game, in my opinion, to be the last. It really didn't have anything insane that would make someone want to buy a Switch 2, but it was such a great game that everyone was going to buy it. So honestly, they probably could have launched on the Switch 2. I think it did way better than they were expecting. Or even that I was expecting. I bought it and I was like, okay, some rhythm game. Let's see how this goes. And then I went, I'm a musician and this is incredibly difficult. What in the world? So yeah, highly suggest that game. Check it out. I'm making a video soon that's going to be a review about it. I tried to record it. I think I'm going to have to re-record that. Check it out once it comes out. If you want to subscribe, that's a terrible idea on checking it. Just come back in like a week and see if I posted it. It's a much better idea. If you want to subscribe, I'd love it. But, like, don't subscribe just for that. I don't know why people always say to. Anyways, this means that all future Switch 2 games, or Switch games, are going to be launching on Switch 2. All of them. And I mean all of them. I mean we may get like a single DLC or something. But it's not going to be anything major from here on out launching on the Switch 1. And like I said, probably not anything at all. So if you are still owning a Switch 1 and you are hoping to buy upcoming games, my suggestion to you is go out and buy a Switch 2 before September 1st, in which the price increases, or plan on not playing Nintendo from here on out. That's about all your options. Or just play your old systems. Yeah, go buy your Super Mario 64 you never got. I'm just gonna sit here and pretend like that was not directed at myself. Okay. So what else is coming out? Pokopia DLC. Pokopia, one of the single most amazing games I have ever played. Along with Rhythm Heaven Groove, these games have been sucking up so much of my time recently. I did not play much of the Jirachi event. I played enough to complete it, but I haven't been in a Pokopia mood lately, and I just got 2 new games, Rhythm Heaven, and I got another one that's been out for like 2 or 3 years. So I've been pretty focused on those 2, along with Splatoon because of the new game and the Splatfest coming up. So I haven't had much of an opportunity to play Pokopia lately, but that DLC looks great. I mean, it wasn't as good as I was hoping, and it's still much more expensive than I was expecting. But it's a high quality game. Honestly, the game should have been more expensive. And so that's probably why their DLC is so expensive. That game is so much larger than I expected. I expected it to be Pokemon's test run of making a Pokopia game. But no, they were all in. And I don't have very many complaints with it. It was amazing. Now enough praising that game, because the DLC is not quite as good as I was expecting, and here's everything they need to do to improve it. That's it. That they don't need to do much. I'm gonna buy it one way or the other. But there's not much they can do to improve it now. The only thing left for us to know, that could possibly change my opinion, is the other 2 features they haven't told us about. One of them's a new world. One of them's like a new feature. Kind of like how the minecarts were an interesting feature. They weren't part of an update or anything, but I'm expecting it to be like a minecart. The fourth, the special world will hopefully be very interesting. No spoilers, by the way. I'm not doing spoilers on here. Nothing spoily. I won't even show you Rainbow Road on here. Like, I'm being careful. Also, I don't need to cover that. If I cover that, I'd cover it at the beginning of the video. So, Mario Kart World still struggling with their online. I'm gonna go play it. So what else is coming out? I mean, there's some Kingdom Hearts stuff, but I'm looking for like primary Nintendo here. Okay, Ocarina of Time remake. I know there are so many people who love Ocarina of Time. I never liked it, but then again, I only made it to the Great Deku Tree, which is like their tutorial level, and I didn't even finish it. So I never even finished the tutorial, but I just kept getting lost, and I mean, like, keep in mind, I was old enough I should not have been getting confused. I wasn't like 3 years old. Like, I was past my double digits. Like, it wasn't my first year being in the double digits or anything. And I was getting very confused. And I really didn't want to get off because I just wanted to beat the tutorial, and after that, I just didn't pick the game back up. They are making a new remake. They have given us almost no information. Most of it has come through leaks so far. The fact that they even announced it is nice. But let's see. It's just, I never liked the game, so I'm not going to be getting it. So I don't really care. But I have to pretend like I care because some of you guys do. And I know some of you guys are going to want to get it. So I'm going to try to take this from a completely non-biased point of view. This is going to be very difficult. Basically, I think this remake is not going to be what people are saying it will be. Okay, I'm nodding first. This remake is going to be... It's going to be very original. I don't think there's going to be much new in it. it's just going to primarily be what was already in the game. Maybe, you know, some nice small little new feature, like how the 3DS version had those little tips to help you out. Oh, the shock. Oh, okay. Um, if I'm being honest, I hope it's bigger than the 3DS version, but if I'm being honest, yeah, it's not happening. So that's, I mean, they're hoping for like a light temple and like, you know, another extra temple. I'm like, no, have you looked at Nintendo's remakes recently? Look at Star Fox. They literally couldn't even come up with a good name for it. And the gameplay was almost copied. Like, there was very little new gameplay. All that there was the online multiplayer, which doesn't even have a ranking system. I'm sorry, but I really like ranking systems. I don't like it when you don't give me a ranking system. I want to know how good at this game I am compared to other players. That's my incentive to play it. So, why is there no ranking system in Star Fox? That would have been a great addition. Even if they didn't hold world championships. Even if they didn't hold any tournaments at all whatsoever. I don't care. Anyways, back to Ocarina. Ocarina of Time it's not looking too bad yet. Lots of people are excited for it, but as soon as they hear that there's not going to be new gameplay, which I'm pretty sure is going to end up happening, no one is going to want the game anymore. Everybody owns Ocarina of Time. Everybody. I mean, I don't even like the game, and I somehow own 2 copies of it. 2! Why do I even own 2? I don't know. Okay, technically they're not mine, but you know, like, how did I end up with 2 copies of a game I don't care about? And I'm losing the knockout tour. Great. On live. Okay, on live, everybody gets to see it. I lose all the time. Whatever. So, if they do bring new stuff into Ocarina of Time, that thing is gonna be selling like hotcakes. If they don't, that thing is just gonna fall apart, and all of Nintendo is gonna start suffering even worse than they already are. I will say Star Fox turned out much better than I expected. I'll give you that. I may get it at some point. I don't think so. But I might. So, that's about all I have to say about Ocarina of Time. I completely skipped Nintendo Switch Sports Resort. Okay. I like Sportsmates. I know most people don't. Sportsmates are the characters you play as in Nintendo Switch Sports and Nintendo Switch Sports Resort. Why is this important? Well, it's actually very important. Several people have decided that they don't like Switch Sports Resort and Switch Sports just because of the Sportsmates. They want Mii's to be the primary character. There's still a Mii option. You're just not... It's just not as customizable. It just looks worse. And I can understand it. Like, I played Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort growing up, and I love those games. Prop plane all the way, flying around the island, going into the volcano. Great memories, and if the new game fails it, it's not going to sell well. They need to nail prop plane, they need to nail skateboarding, and thumb wrestling has to be the single most exciting thing we've ever seen. Power cruising cannot have any issues. Please don't remind me of canoeing from Wii Sports Resort. That's all I need to say. Hopefully their games work well, and then we'll be fine. If you're hoping to buy a Switch Sports Resort, I think it looks great. And I think you should get it. If you really end up deciding that it's cool. But one thing that may stop you from getting it. One more thing. It comes out in, no, what is that, October? It costs $50, and I'm not even done yet. No, no, I already said it comes out in October. Never mind, I am done. Okay. So if it comes out in October and they didn't announce it until then, it's not a terrible sign, but it's not a great sign. And $50 means it's going to be around the size of Splatoon Raiders, which at first sounds terrible if you are not excited for Splatoon Raiders. But keep in mind, Rhythm Heaven Groove was $40, and that game, oh my word, that game is insane. Like, absolutely insanely long. Like, I've sunk so many hours into it, and I haven't even unlocked all the levels yet, let alone get good scores on them. In the main single-player mode. I'm not even talking all the single-player modes. Just the main one. Like, this game is insane. I have no clue how that game is priced at $40. They could have easily priced it at least 50, if not 60. Sure, their advertising made it look like it was like a $40 game, but it is not a $40 game. That is my opinion on it. They could have asked me for $50 as long as they had advertised it at the way I wish they would have, and I would have bought it. Basically, the moral of the story is go buy it. You won't regret it if you're good with rhythm. I'm a musician, so it wasn't as hard for me as it would be for someone who has absolutely no rhythm. So if you're not good with rhythmic things, don't you dare pick up that game. You're gonna regret it. But oh crap. The fact that Nintendo Switch Sports Resort is $50 is slightly concerning. Slightly. I really think I'm gonna enjoy it. Skateboarding looks interesting. I want them to do a segment on skateboarding, not thumb wrestling. That's my opinion. We don't need a segment on something we've already seen before. I really hope they bring back like the stamps and stuff. I did like how they had something similar in Switch Sports that they added on, but they didn't tell you how to get them. You just had to kind of look them up or figure it out on your own. So, yeah, that's what I'll have to say about that. So, what else have we got coming up here? We have a Pokemon Wind and Waves coming out next year. I'm a really big Pokemon fan, like, so big. I watched all of the first season of Horizons without hesitation. Okay, I totally hesitated, but that was a very painful experience. And yet I continued watching it. Don't ask me why. I must be crazy or something. But it actually turned out to be a really great show by the second season, and then by a third season now, I'm invested in this show. It's great. I love it. The characters are so much better than Ash Ketchum. Even Ult. Okay, that's a lie. That's a lie. Ult is so much worse than Ash. I will never, ever forgive them for creating... No, it's fine. It's not that bad. He gets on my nerves. So did Ash a little bit, but only in the old shows. So, what could I possibly have to talk about Wind and Waves? There's really not much to say. It looks great. If they throw in voice acting for their cutscenes and aren't glitchy, we'll be good. That's about all I have to say about it. That's about all there is to say about it. It looks great. And I really think it's going to be I really think Pokemon is making an amazing comeback right now. Like, as all these companies are starting to fail all of a sudden, I mean, PlayStation. Look at PlayStation. PlayStation is getting hated on so much right now. Like, it's like I kind of feel bad for them. Like, they don't even deserve this much hate, in my opinion, just for getting rid of physical games. But that's right, their physical games are gone forever, and so now, well, starting in 2028, they'll stop producing them. And their fans are not very happy. Especially after PlayStation tried to mock Xbox for doing the exact same thing a long time ago. That's been turned into so many funny videos. Anyways, with all of this happening right now, with Nintendo creating the Switch 2, they haven't been on the most amazing terms, even if they've been pretty good for the past few months. The Switch 2 has really caught people's eye, like, hey, stuff is getting expensive now. This is not great. And honestly, all I have to say about this is, Nintendo's starting to look like the bad guys. Well, they were last year, and Pokemon is just doing an amazing job. I don't know what they're doing, but they're doing it perfectly. Like, everything they've been doing lately, I just felt like it was well done. I don't know why. ZA was very impressive. I've heard so many complaints about it, and I will agree, that game was far from perfect. But that is a giant step forward for Pokemon. I love this game. I will be posting even more playthrough videos of it soon. I know I've been very inconsistent with posting them, and I will continue to be inconsistent. I hope you enjoy my inconsistencies. Hopefully, Wind and Waves will take some knowledge that they learned from ZA and put it to good use, such as not stuff about the battle system, but stuff about, you know, how to make a good character. They did a pretty good job designing the characters in that game. And I don't mean like their art design. I mean how the characters reacted to different events throughout the game. They all had a nice personality. Kind of like Nimona. That was a great joke. I hope you all laughed. Nimona had the single worst personality I've ever seen. Let's go battle Pokemon. Battle, 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 battle. That was her personality. That's not even a personality. That's just wanting to battle. But now they're giving characters like a... I just want to help Team Flare. Not... Oh, that's a spoiler. I just want to... You know, I have this tragic backstory and I'm trying to resolve it. Or... I'm not very careful, and so someone is hating me now. Someone who I love is not very close to me anymore. That is so great. I love those storylines. They're just so much more impactful than let's go have a battle. Let's go have a battle is fine, but like not. No, it wasn't. Like, come on, Nimona. You can have a personality. I know it. I really hope that Wind and Waves has taken what they learned from Scarlet and Violet. Wind and Waves just has so much potential. Pokemon is at an all-time high, I feel like. I haven't seen them doing this well in a while. With ZA's okay launch. It wasn't terrible. Very well accepted by fans. Also, this will be running on a Switch 2. So, you know, hopefully that means that it's going to be a really great game. Honestly, I think Pokemon may be the best thing coming out next year, unless if we get a 3D Mario. Or the Mario Kart World DLC could potentially rival it, but I don't really think so. Honestly, Pokemon is great with their storytelling too. I love their storytelling. Scarlet and Violet story, perfect. ZA storyline, amazing. I already beat it. I haven't posted most of it. I know. Overall, it's pretty great. I I think Wind and Waves has a lot of potential, and I need to stop talking about it because why am I even still talking about it? Okay. Is there anything else I'd like to discuss on here? I wanted to mention some potential things that could come out. First of all, Mario Kart World DLC, already mentioned that. We already know it. We already got the memo. So many people are hoping for this. Mario Maker 3 is not going to be happening, in my opinion. Not until at least late 2027. It could happen, but I really think it's not going to happen until even further than that. So I'm thinking like, 2028. Probably, I'm guessing late 2028 at best. And I'm guessing it's not going to have what we want it to have. I really want 3D. To be able to design a three-dimensional course. Super Mario 3D World does not count since they made a three-dimensional game two-dimensional, just so that they could say that they had a three-dimensional game. I really think they could make it. I've heard of a mod where someone made a Mario Maker on Mario 64. The fact that an N64 can even do that is absolutely insane to me. Okay, maybe it wasn't running on an N64, maybe it was on an emulator, but still, it's a three-dimensional game having a maker aspect, and I just think that's so cool. And I think Nintendo would prosper if they introduced the same thing. Now, there's one topic I'd like to mention, referring to maker ideas. I love the idea of Mario Maker, and I think there are some other series that could prosper from it, like Zelda. I don't think Zelda would do that great. Metroid could do okay, but the single best series, no, I'm not going to say Kirby. No, I'm not going to say Pokemon, obviously, because that would be scary. Can you imagine a Pokemon maker? Oh my, I don't even want to think about it. That's just not going to end well. What I'm playing on screen. Imagine this. They've already created the perfect setup. Why not make a Mario Kart maker? I need to just make my own video about it because I've got so many great ideas. Add in brand new features. Make everything amazing. Add in so many different Mario Kart games. Bring back Mario Kart Wii. Bring back Mario Kart DS. Bring back Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Have adjustable settings all over the place. I think that game could not only be one of the most fun games ever, but also a great learning experience for Nintendo. You may be thinking, what in the world do I mean by great learning experience for Nintendo? They aren't making the courses. Sure, they've already made a Mario Maker game. What could they possibly learn from this other than how to make a three-dimensional Maker game? They will learn how to better create tracks that their fans will enjoy. Their tracks are absolutely amazing. Look at this right here. This is like one of the best intermissions that I'm playing right now. Can you imagine if they managed to make every intermission as good as their tracks? Just imagine that. throwing in P-switch things like the vines that they've been adding in left and right. Just constantly adding in amazing new features. There's no limit to what they can do. They can throw this game into VR for all we care. They have multiple VR headsets. Why have they not been using them? They really should. They really should bring back the original VR headset and just start selling that. In my opinion, that's a whole other topic. This is like revolutionary. Mario Maker, and if they took ideas from this Mario Maker game, it could seriously be one of the single best selling Nintendo games ever. Sure, it would cost so much money to purchase. I don't care if it costs me $100 to make 3 different Mario Kart games. Styles. I honestly don't care. Give us some courses, and boom. We have one of this single, like give us some courses that we can play, you know, like on there that aren't made. I liked how Mario Maker 2 did that. That they incorporated it into their story mode. They had over 100 courses with unique features that you couldn't even use in the game. Which, honestly, those features definitely should have been put into the game. But we're not here to talk about that, are we? We're here to talk about Mario Maker, or Mario Kart Maker. Just think about the endless possibilities. Fans could create courses with such insane parkour. That's really the only way to use that word, or the only way that to explain the parkour they would have. It would be insane. There's an old PlayStation game I'd like to mention. I've got a friend who will be very happy if he watches this. It's called Mod Nation Racers. I don't think the game's terrible. It ended for several reasons. Still has a semi-active fan base. I mean, pretty much every game does. Katamari Damacy, for example, being one of the most amazing games ever, and probably having an active fan base. I love Katamari Damacy. Look it up, and then go purchase 7 games from them. I'm kidding. There's not even that many Nintendo Katamari Damacys. They had a new one recently you may have heard of. Once Upon a Katamari. Go buy it. I haven't played it. I want to hear. Is it any good? Anyways, enough advertising. I'm actually not paid to do any of this, so like, the advertising is completely by choice. So, just so you know. I've seen this Mod Nation game. It proved that Mario Kart is still holding back. And I mean, I'm playing Mario Kart World. Yeah, duh, they're holding back, Sheldu. We already knew that. Yeah, you did. You're right. They're definitely holding back with Mario Kart World because they're trying to do something awesome with it and nobody knows what that awesome thing is. Because they won't tell us that they are making a DLC. Or what that DLC has besides DK Bonanza stuff. Because, have you noticed a giant lack of DK outfits and Pauline outfits? Just saying. You know? Now then, here is all the information you're gonna need about Mod Nation's map maker. Because yes, they had one, and Nintendo does not. Here's everything you could possibly want to know. You can create maps, you can create carts, you can create characters, and they are so insanely customizable I couldn't even handle it. They were too customizable. More customizable than Kirby Air Riders vehicles. And I mean, those they literally had to start banning vehicles because they didn't fit what they considered to be appropriate. Like, This is insane. And it was running on a, what was that? Like a PlayStation like 3 or something? Maybe a PlayStation 2? Yeah, something like that. It worked. They made one for PlayStation Vista. I don't know anything about any of these PlayStation systems. I'm sorry. I'm not a PlayStation nerd. I'm a Nintendo nerd. I focus on Nintendo primarily. But the fact that they could make it happen, and they weren't even like a big company. It wasn't like PlayStation had sponsored them, to my knowledge. It was more just like, hey, we're a company making a game, and it turned out really well. That company actually like disappeared after Mod Nation. They actually died out, and I don't know if they like went bankrupt, but somehow the company ended, and that's why there's no new ones. But their maker courses were insane, like absolutely insane. Better than like you could make so much. Now, sure, the controls in that game were really awkward, I think, maybe. I don't really remember. But the point is, not any of that. That all does not matter. What matters is that they had a Mario Kart maker, just not Mario Kart, and it was more expansive than Mario Kart World here. Their gameplay was like, how is Mario Kart not caught up? What is happening? And why not make a Mario Kart maker? They can do it. Nintendo can do a lot more than they're telling you that they can. Sure, the Switch one was terrible. It couldn't hold a Mario Kart maker nearly as well as this could. But look at this Switch 2 with 8 times the storage. Look at the Switch 2 with faster loading times. And I mean faster. Like, if you own ZA and you were watching the tip screen there and reading the tips, I literally don't have time to read the tips. That's how fast it goes. It goes too fast. Which is actually a bit of an issue that they should address somehow. But you can just take a picture of it, so it's not a big issue. Nintendo, I'm pretty sure that their upcoming year, this year is going to be their first success of the Switch 2. They have nice, solid, cheaper games launching that people are going to be willing to buy. While I would love a Mario Odyssey 2 or the Galaxy, those games are large and are going to cost more. Games like Splatoon Raiders that only cost $50, but the average gamer will get the same amount of enjoyment from, are going to be a great way to start off your system. I am very happy with their business decisions in the past year. And I mean, I was pretty unhappy with some of the stuff they had been pulling. I'm still mad about Mario Kart Tour, of course. And I understand it needed to go. But there are so many better ways they could have ended that. See? That was just to prove that I'm not just praising Nintendo aimlessly. I really do think their business decisions have been pretty good. Their only issue has been, I actually need to discuss this. It's pretty important on why Nintendo has not been doing as well. As you know, most likely, many non-RPG fans want a large game to sell the system. And we just haven't gotten that. There's no new Mario. There's a new Mario Kart, sure, but it's one of their worst Mario Karts in a long time. I mean, I think Tour launched. Tour was better than the launch version of World. I'd say World is better now than Tour, maybe. By most people's standards, not by my own. But this is the issue that Nintendo is having. their large games coming out are Splatoon Raiders, which it costs $50, and Splatoon fans aren't very happy about. As someone who likes Splatoon, I think this game looks amazing and will sell well. As someone who understands where they're coming from, it's okay. Not having a multiplayer is going to be alright. Not having a normal multiplayer option is going to be okay, but I'd like to communicate that to you Splatoon fans out there. It's going to be alright. It's not going to be as bad as you're expecting. Salmon Run is not nearly as bad as you think it is. Anyways, what is their big system seller? Mario Kart World. Failure. So far. DK Bonanza. Under-advertised. Like, so under-advertised. And advertised as if it was much worse than it really is. Really, their advertising crew is to blame for DK Bonanza. That sounds harsh. And that's because it is harsh. But I think it may be the truth. Their advertising team hasn't been doing the best with anything lately. Until this past Direct. And the Splatoon Raiders Direct both ended up being great. But, like who named the game Star Fox Star Fox? We have a game called Star Fox. We have a team, two different teams of squads in Star Fox called Star Fox. The game series is called Star Fox. Many people call Fox McCloud Star Fox. So why not make another game called Star Fox once again? Like, now we have to say Star Fox the Switch 2 game. And that's just weird. So, I'm not sure if that one was really their marketing team's fault, but kind of felt like it. Because their marketing team hadn't, like, who announces a 20-minute direct 10 minutes before it comes out? When we usually get, like we've gotten like months heads up before that size of a direct. And they gave us 10 minutes heads up, and that's if you use Twitter. I don't use Twitter, so I got a 4 minutes heads up. Yeah, that was fun. I turned on my phone and saw launching in 4 minutes Star Fox Direct and absolutely panicked. And I mean panicked in a good way, not like I was running around scared. That'd be weird. I'm not scared of Star Fox. Although I'm scared of what their future will be if they keep pulling weird moves like this. I think they're going to be making a new Star Fox game. I probably should mention that before now. How in the world did I pass? Star Fox appearing in the movie, a new Star Fox remake. They're going to make a new Star Fox game. Their leak, it got leaked too at one point. I don't talk about leaks much. I don't speak about them as if they are credible ever, even if by Nate the Hate himself, who has never been wrong, to my knowledge. I don't like addressing leaks as if they're real, but they are good evidence that something could be coming. And Star Fox, really, like, you're obviously getting a new game. Alright, enough about Star Fox. Back to the idea of why Nintendo's Switch 2 is failing. Switch 2 is definitely failing because of prices. I definitely agree with that. I'm not sure how much they could have avoided that. I think increasing the price on the Switch 2 is a baiting mechanism that's very, very, very bad, and trying to get people to buy it, even though, it's not good. I have a theory that Nintendo could have raised the price of the Switch 2 intentionally, already having planned on it, to make people want to buy it before the price increases. And if so, what? No. I gotta look this up. Is this actually... I'm sorry, give me a moment here. Give me a moment. Oh no, it's already gone. Oh, I can't look it up. Sunshine Mario Kart World. Okay, it was already on there. Never mind, never mind. Nothing cool happening here. Alright. I'm barely holding my controller. Okay, there we go. So, what would a big system seller count as? Because we obviously need one. The only expensive games so far have either been rated teen, which automatically disqualifies them as this is Nintendo, and also this is me, and I don't care about teen-rated games. Except maybe Age of Imprisonment, because I don't think that one's nearly as inappropriate as most teen games are. I can't verify that though, so don't go quoting me on that or something. I haven't actually played it. Now, I would like to address what I count as a big enough system seller that we are actually going to get people to buy a Switch 2. These include, but are not limited to, but are almost limited to, let's see, where should I start? Obviously 3D Mario is going to help sell the system. Even a 2D Mario could help, but I really think a 3D Mario is much better. So, obviously we've got that. What else do we have? Alright. Super Smash Bros. Now, I'm just saying it would sell the system. I'm not saying they're going to make one. I have absolutely no hope for the Smash series. I loved Brawl. Ultimate's great. But I think they're gone. I think they very well could be gone for the next few years. I don't think they're gone permanently. They could be, but I really don't think so. The only reason they wouldn't make another is for the same reason as not making another F-Zero other than F-Zero 99 and bringing a Virtual game back. Virtual Boy game back, sorry. That was scrapped before it started selling. Before it was announced. Those two games don't really count because one of them had already existed and one of them was not a large game or anything. Like it was like a small little game that you got for free with Nintendo Switch Online that ended up doing really well. Now, why am I mentioning this? I'm mentioning this because there's not been an F-Zero game in forever. And what was their original reason why? We kind of perfected this series by accident. And we can't make a better one. So we're just kind of done. That is what Smash Ultimate looks like to me. And that's scary. I don't want Smash to be gone, but it very well could be. For you Smash fans out there, I'm sorry. Don't worry, they're still holding World Championships, to my knowledge, on Ultimate. It's not like it's completely dead. Yeah, that's about all I have to say on that topic. Oh, speaking of which, I wonder what World Championships are going to be like for Mario Kart World. I don't know if they've released details for that. But yeah, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate could sell the series, but they're probably not making one, which is very, very sad. And there's nothing I can do about it. I'm sorry. What other system sellers? I mean, at this point, a Splatoon game is gonna have to be our system seller. That's not good. It's definitely not good. I mean, really, no, we're just not having that be our system seller. Fire Emblem? No, that's rated teen. We don't make rated teen games be Nintendo's system sellers. If they dare make a remake their system seller, such as Ocarina of Time, Star Fox 64 Switch 2 version, as I like to call it. If they dare make one of those be their system seller, I'm gonna have a little. Mario Kart World was meant to be the system seller. Off of what I've heard, Nintendo pretty much officially said that. And it didn't do well. So now they need a new system seller. And that's why we don't have one. I don't know what we can do. There's not much left to do other than just wait for them to make a 3D Mario or Smash Bros. Pikmin's not going to go save the series, by the way. Pikmin, I don't even like Pikmin. I'm sorry. Pikmin's a great idea. I'm just not a fan of it. And I think that's a great spot to end because I've been talking for forever now, and yeah. So I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you all liked my ideas about Nintendo's future coming forwards, and I may actually go ahead and follow this up with some kind of a video about what I'm hoping for from Fill in the Blank, a game that's not been announced. Like Kid Icarus Uprising Remake. I'm kidding. I'm not making a full video dedicated to that, no matter how badly I want it. Which is very, very, very badly. Come on. It's a great game. It's one of my favorites. I just can't handle the control scheme. And most people never bought it. So you make a good chunk of money off of remaking that game. Alright. But I think that's all I have to say, though. Future of Nintendo is looking kind of uncertain. And if they make a few, just even their decisions right now are really pushing them forwards, and future decisions appear to be being made with uttermost care. And therefore, I think Nintendo is gonna be secure as long as they keep making the decisions they are right now. Games like Rhythm Heaven Groove, Splatoon Raiders, but then growing larger. They haven't had very many Mario games. They've been focusing on these small series like Tomodachi Life, Rhythm Heaven. They just need all that they need is one of their bigger series to come back and have a nice title. Well, that's all for today. Wow, that felt way too fast. I should not have said that way. Anyways, that's all for today. I hope you all enjoyed. Tune next time when I don't know what I'm going to be posting next. But I'll see you all there. Enjoy your day.